Welcome back, y'all. This is Father Mark, and this week we're unpacking Matthew chapter 13 and the parable of the weeds and the wheat. And because of those weeds, we all know life can be messy and life rarely meets our expectations. And today we want to unpack three dangers of living life with expectations. Number one, expectations are rarely rooted in reality. Number two, we relate to our expectation of who people should be rather than who they actually are. And number three, we live with the disappointment of unmet expectations. How about the next 60 seconds we dive into those and unpack that reality together? Number one, expectations are rarely rooted in reality. In other words, when you and I are dreaming about what life would be like or who we should be or who other people should be, we rarely take into consideration ordinary human weakness, the reality of sin, or circumstances that we just don't see that are gonna happen in our lives. And because none of those are part of the formulation of the expectation, our expectations are never rooted in reality. Number two, we can relate to who we want people to be rather than who they really are. We can actually project our expectation onto people. So you might have dreams of who you're going to be, who your spouse could be one day, who your kids could be one day. And whether we know it or not, we can actually relate to our expectation rather than the person. We project who we want them to be onto them, and instead of relating to who they really are, we're relating to this image in our head of who we want them to be. And people rarely meet our expectations. And so the third danger is that we can live life in the disappointment of unmet expectations. And a lot of us don't do well with living with disappointment. We may try to medicate that disappointment with different forms of vice, or we can bury our resentment quietly in our heart and never relate that to God. Three dangers of living life with expectation. And tomorrow we're going to talk practically about three things that we can do to live life with greater joy in the midst of the mess. Come on back tomorrow, and until we see you then, God bless you.